Okay, good morning and welcome to the YouTube Daily Double. Today we're doing Challah, Perek Beis, Mishnah Zayin and Ches. We're finishing the second Perek of Challah, and we're moving on to, not the last Perek of Challah. Challah has 4 Parakim, so we'll be halfway down with Challah. Mishnah Zayin says, Shira Challah, Echad Mesrim Ba'arba. It doesn't say how much, we learned how much dough you have to make in order to be Chayav in Challah. How much do you have to take off? So, Shira Challah Echad Mesrim Ba'arba, 1/24 of whatever amount of dough. Ha'osa Isa La'asmo, Ha'osa La'mishta B'no. You make it personally for your own house, or you make it even for the wedding for your son. Echad Mesrim Ba'arba, nonetheless, it's still a personal use. The reason being, you're not going to make so much dough, so therefore you have to give up a substantial amount, 1/24. As opposed to Nachtom Shu Osa Limkar B'Shuk, a baker, he's making a huge amount of bread, so therefore they were making on him. Isha Osa Limkar B'Shuk, also a woman. She has a bakery business out of her house. Echad Ma'arbi Mishmona, only 1/48, half the amount. The reason being, the Rav says, is the Torah says, Titnu, She'ebo Kedei Nasin. It has to be something that you're giving as a present. It has to be something valuable. 1/24 is considered valuable. If you're making a large amount, so then 1/48 is okay. Echad Ma'arbi Mishmona, Nitbeis La'isasa. If you're making a dough in your house, it became Tameh, Shogega, so Anusa, Echad Ma'arbi Mishmona. Technically now it's Tameh, so the Kohen really can't use this. You can't eat challah, which is tameah. So therefore, you don't really have to do kedei nesina. You can give 1/48. Nitmei mezida. If you do it on purpose, it becomes tameh, right? A regular Yisrael could eat things betum, but a Kohen can't eat the challah betum. So you did it on purpose. So you try to get around giving 1/24. You want to give 1/48. Echad mesrim arba kedei shalei chaytiniska. The Rabbanan penalized you and said, no, you still have to give 1/24. You did it on purpose. You try to get out. You still have to give 1/24. We'll discuss more later on in the Masechta why exactly 1/24. Is that the Shir Midal Rice, or is that a Shir Midal Banan? Or do we say Midal Rice? So even a little speck of your dough is good enough, Midal Rice. Chet, Rebbe Lezer, because Reishis are Rosechem, even a little bit should be okay. Chet, Rebbe Lezer Omer, and he tells me not Torah Tameh. Rebbe Lezer says you can take off, let's say you have 2 loaves, 2 doughs that are Chayav and Chal, both of them. One's Torah, one's Tameh. You can take off from the Torah al Tameh. You want to give the Kohen. So let's say you take off the Tameh's portion of Challah from the Torah, double from the Torah, none from the Tameh, in order to give the Challah to the Kohen. You can eat it. Kesa eats the Torah, we saw Tmeya, no Takdei Challah. How do you do this? You take Challah, eat the Shalahor. You take a piece of dough that really is Tevel, that you haven't separated Shumah Challah from, and Osein Pachos Mikabetza, the Emsa. And you put a piece of this less than a kabetza, because less than a kabetza is not mekabel tuma. You're tameh, you can't be tameh something less than a kabetza. Because we're going to learn that when you take off challah, it has to be connected. It has to be in the same room, or actually maybe the best thing is that they're actually connected. You want to connect these 2 loaves so you can take off from one loaf on the other, one dough on the other. So therefore you connect it with this piece of dough that's not mekabel tuma, and then you put the challah on top of this dough so it doesn't touch the dough, which is tameh. The Chum say you can't do this. Now, the reason the Chum say osrin is because they're choshish, they're going to touch, so therefore I don't allow you this mechanism of doing it. But I have a different Mishnah in the Chum. If you want to hear my different Mishnah in the Chum, maybe on the rice level doesn't work. Check out Ian Mitzion coming up next.